Scotland, a land that has captured the imagination of people for centuries. A land of druids, potions and elixirs. I've always wondered what makes Scotland so captivating. It's not just their breathtaking landscape or their charming countryside. It's that their long-standing heritage holds the promise of great things. When in Scotland, you feel like an explorer on a trail to discover the true spirit of life and a want to capture each moment to file away in the catalogue of memories. So I'm on a journey to explore Scotland through its culture, its legends, its history, and of course its greatest gift to the world, Scotch whisky. And along the way, create unforgettable memories that become some of the defining moments in life. They say the best things take time, and Scotland truly embodies that. A luxury that shows in everything it has to offer. So the moment you step into Scotland, it's like time stands still. Luxury, splendor, they just sort of envelop this small country. And here, luxury is not about acquiring the finer things in life. It's about appreciating the time, the effort that goes into actually creating them. It's the mindset of people who refuse to settle for what is standard. They push forward in the pursuit of redefining the exceptional. There are few things that lets one exude confidence, the way bespoke garments do. It's no wonder one of the symbols of luxury is a cashmere suit or scarf. I've always believed that clothes make it the man, and fortunately for me, I've got an old friend that's going to be my guide to the world of power dressing. And she's told me when in Scotland, you got to dress like the Scots. So, this is going to be fun. Lynn Coleman is a fashion writer and Scottish textile expert, and the best person to tell me the fascinating story of how cashmere comes to be.
What happens is cashmere goats head up the Mongolian mountains when it's really, really cold, so sub-zero to minus 15 temperatures. They spend the whole time there, and when they're up there, they grow this really downy, soft fur on their chins and their tummies to trap the heat, essentially. Then they come down in spring, and they are hand-combed, and that's where we get the raw cashmere from. Then that gets imported to here, where we create it into wool. And it's once it's plunged into our water, which is geographically soft, it just becomes a magical, luxurious product.
The water is responsible for the luxury.
Absolutely, and that's why you can really feel a difference in different people that produce cashmere. So Chinese cashmere or Italian cashmere to Scottish cashmere, you can physically feel the difference. Yeah? Absolutely. Come and touch some.
Okay, come on.
Feel this.
It's nice and warm.
Lovely, isn't it? And so we have been doing this for upwards of 200 years, and it's that kind of heritage that is passed down to the weavers generation after generation after generation, and it just keeps this air of magic around really luxurious products.
So what I find amazing about Scotland, like in India, is that it's not about forgetting your heritage, it's not about forgetting your past. In fact, it's about bringing the past into the present. But Lynn didn't stop there. For me to truly understand Scotland's connection with its sartorial heritage, I had to make one more stop.
If you really want to dress like a Scottish person, I'm going to take you to a place just now, and I'm going to introduce you to my friend.
Hey, good to meet you.
How are you, man? Nice to see you.
Very well, good to see you.
So this is Howie. He's a professional kilt maker. He's been doing this for decades.
Kilt?
Yeah, sorry, did I not mention that?
No, you didn't mention
You
that.
have to wear a kilt. Welcome to the perfect kilt place.
Howie Nicholsby is one of Scotland's best contemporary custom kilt designers, working under his label 21st Century Kilts. His goal is to redefine the kilt from being the dress of the past into a luxurious fashion statement of today.
So the kilt is the garment, the piece of clothing.
Right.
Tartan connects to the family. So this is the Smith family. It's one of the biggest names in Scotland is Smith. So that really should only be worn by someone who is called Smith. Or his mother or grandmother, you always go in the female line, was a Smith.
Oh. So if you wanted to wear one of these, I'd have to change my name to Kunal Smith.
Yeah, we marry a nice Scottish lady called Smith. The kilt makers, to me, they're artisans. I mean, that took months.
Months, really?
Months to make. You know, just to do 2 or 3 pleats would take a day.
You know, I find that amazing about Scotland is the amount of attention to detail and the amount of work that goes into something seemingly simple.
Oh, let me show you this. This is how much material in a kilt. So like a sari, that's 8 yards.
That's all that goes into one kilt.
That all goes into one kilt. So that's how much material I'm wearing right now.
There's another manner in which Indian and Scottish culture converges. Apparently there's a tartan registered by Sikhs in Scotland.
So in the world of fashion, where do you see the kilt, and what do you...
I see the kilt beyond the world of fashion. I feel it should always be something kind of special, maybe not an everyday piece of clothing.
I have to say I absolutely agree. Especially after finding out it takes 6 to 8 weeks for him to make a custom kilt. Now I'm really looking forward to trying it on.
Well, let's liberate you and try a kilt. Free yourself.
Okay, let's do this.
We'll make you Scottish.
Oh! You know, I'm actually ready to shoot the whole show in this now. This is really, really comfortable.
That's what Vin Diesel said.
It's so
I'm wearing this
comfortable.
the whole show, man. I'm wearing this, so this is the bomb.
So, well, the kilt is obviously much more than just traditional attire for the Scots. You know, the pride with which they wear it shows you how deeply connected they are to their culture, their heritage. And this particular piece that Howie's made for me, the amount of attention and detail that's gone into it, clearly makes it luxurious and bespoke. The most opulent venues usually have the most extravagant stories to tell. And the place that I'm at today is no less. The striking mansion behind me and its sprawling grounds are a constant reminder of its glorious past. A very well-known luxury resort, the Cromlix is surrounded by acres and acres of secluded woodlands. A perfect getaway, done in style.
The Cromlix cottage, as it was initially known, was built in 1874 by a family related to the royal clergy. A century later, it was converted from a private residence to a luxury country house hotel. And fast forward to now, where it's owned by tennis superstar Andy Murray. So it's an eclectic mix of retaining the old while building on the new.
Welcome, how are you?
Nice to see you, Kunal.
Hey, Lauren,
Hi.
nice to meet you. The bar area is a lovely transition between the old part of the house and the more modern type restaurant. So as you can see on the walls, everything's hand painted and everything was made individually for us. Makes it really special and quite a luxurious place to sit before dinner, after dinner.
And what do you think makes it do really well?
You know, we've only got 16 bedrooms in the whole place. When you're here, you're part of a family, you're part of a team, you're welcomed into a home, not a hotel. And I think that's what makes it so nice. We know your name. When you come down for breakfast in the morning, we know how you take your coffee already. So that's what makes it so nice.
Next on the list were the suites I'd heard so much about. But what caught my attention on the way up to see them were these incredibly beautiful pieces of art.
So to talk about all the different paintings, we've got over 200 artists.
200 artists,
Yeah. So everything's been hand painted and hand picked. So this is our lovely Burn Suite. As you can see, the views are gorgeous. We sit right in the middle of about 32 acres. We've got 5 suites. They've all got their own lovely views, and because of the fact that it was built as a house to begin with, they're all completely different shapes. People come here to get away from the emails or work, and it's just lovely to be able to come, you're in your room, you've got all these views, you can go out on walks on the estate and not see anyone apart from a deer or a pheasant, and that's lovely.
The suites are not numbered. They're named after Scottish legends. So this is going to be my favorite suite because as a football fan, it's called the Sir Alex Ferguson suite.
Right. Every suite is different, shapes, sizes, and as well as decor as well. So all of the furniture is hand-picked for each individual room. Everything is sourced. You know, we've got some materials from America, France, and it just creates that luxuriousness that you need.
Oh wow, there's a chapel in the house?
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
This was the only original part of the house that's left, actually. There's something about it that's so special.
There is something really like sort of magical about this chapel.
Anyone can build a hotel and fill it with people, but really when you've got that history and that personality that's in the building itself, it's just so magical.
I think what's really special about this place is that it's as luxurious as any hotel.
Exactly.
But it's as intimate as a home.
I've been to a lot of luxury hotels around the world, and what makes this place unique is that each piece has been handpicked. It's that eye for detail that really makes it stand apart.
This is the place that holds the mantle of being the oldest operational distillery in Speyside. And you know what the truly remarkable part is? That in all these years, it hasn't wavered once. Strathisla, the home of Chivas.
Its grand past is reflected in the vast archives, kept meticulously at the distillery. And to take me through them is the man best suited for the job, the chief archivist for the Chivas brothers, Chris Brusso. Chivas can trace its roots back to 1801, to a grocery store owned by brothers John and James Chivas. From there, the Chivas brothers became pioneers of blending, resulting in the world's first luxury whiskey. There's no question that the Chivas brothers set the foundation for the whiskey's success. And I have with me the man who knows exactly what it takes, Chivas' blending manager, Callum Fraser. Callum is the perfect man to teach me a little about what goes into making a great blend. And there's no better place to learn than Chivas' iconic blending room.
Wow.
Whereby we have 5 components.
So we have the smoky, we've got the creamy, fruity, citrus, and the floral.
Yes, we have tens, hundreds of different flavours with which to work with. So today is just giving you an insight into some of the flavours that we use.
And how many hours a day would you do something like this?
You know, on a typical day, we could be nosing within our blending team 300 samples a day.
You know, you have to know it precisely and put it together in a really sort of complex way. That's
Absolutely. In a typical blend that I work with, we are bringing together whiskies that have been distilled in over 20, 30 different distilleries, maybe even more, but also they've been matured in different types of oak casks. We have over 6 million casks maturing all across Scotland.
6 million?
6 million.
That's the population of a country. It's like, that's
more than
it's
more than the population of Scotland.
A lot of people, you know, don't know the difference between a single malt and a single grain and a blended Scotch.
So this is a single grain that's been matured in an oak barrel for just over 12 years. So you see in terms of the colour, it's quite light and amber in colour. So this is an example of a single malt whisky.
Wow, the smell of this is completely different.
So a single grain will come from a single grain distillery, which uses raw materials such as wheat and maize mainly. A single malt whisky comes from a single malt distillery, such as we here at Strathisla. If I blended together the grain whisky and malt whisky together, that's two whiskies blended together, that would be a blended Scotch.
From what I've got from this is that the single malt seems a lot more intense than the single grain. The single grain feels a lot lighter, a lot more delicate than the malt.
I think now you're ready to have your own chance to create a blended Scotch whisky.
Oh, I love that. It's taking me back to school in my
Perfect.
chemistry lab. So we are halfway through, and the note that I like the most is the fruity one. So that's the one I'm going to add the most of.
That's really great to hear. The fruity flavour very much comes from Strathisla Distillery. That very much is the heart of the 18-year-old blend, to have that fresh fruity character.
Okay, this is the big moment now.
Yeah, I really like that, really like that. It's lovely, really sweet, loads of fresh fruit. Slight floral notes coming through in the nose as well, but really, really smooth and voluptuous on the palate as well. So you've managed to balance up all these 5 characters really, really well.
Now that I've made my own blend, Callum seems to think I'm ready for the big leagues. He's organised a blind tasting for me to see how many whiskey flavour notes I can identify. Not sure how confident I feel, but I'll give it a go. Rehearsing the prominent flavour notes in my head, I sat down to see if I'd passed the test. With what turned out to be the 12 and 15-year-olds, I missed a few notes, but by the time I reached the 18-year-old, I think I got the hang of it.
Oh, it's got a bit of toffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's buttery. It's got a bit of toffee.
Yeah.
So is this the 18-year-old? Is it?
You're absolutely spot on.
Ah, that's good. I got it right.
Whiskey tasting in itself is the quintessential luxury experience. But of course, Chivas has to take it a notch further.
So to celebrate what's been a very fruitful day, a 25-year-old blended Scotch whisky, so Slanjava.
Slanjava to a great day. So Dr. Callum's predecessor, Colin Scott, the master blender of Chivas 18, said something beautiful. He said that the art of the master blender in creating the different flavors of Scotch is like the work of a composer. Not only do you have to understand the musical characteristics of every instrument, you have to combine them to build an unforgettable and spellbinding symphony.
Something I've realized from my experience in this country is that luxury is not about cost, it's about custom. From the kilt, which is worn as a garment of pride and heritage, to the Cromlix, where every experience is curated for the customer. And finally, whiskey, which is the result of years of expertise in the art of blending that traces its roots to a small grocery store.